What does certification mean? The basics of the DGNB system. In the beginning, some words about the DGNB. The DGNB is a non-profit organization with around 1,200 members. Founded in 2007, based in Germany, and we are Europe's biggest network for sustainable construction and working worldwide. Our approach to bring sustainability in practice is our DGNB system. With this DGNB system, we have certified more than 6,000 projects around the world, and it's a global benchmark for sustainability. To get the knowledge to planners, architects, but also students, we have a DGNB Academy where we train these people, and we offer there also a university cooperation where we have cooperations with more than 17 universities in Germany, but also abroad. As I said, we work internationally. In some regions in the world, we have so-called DGNB System partners in Denmark, Austria, Switzerland, but also in Spain. So they adapt our system, translated it to the local language and use it by their own. But we also certify in other regions in the world, in Asia, Russia, Europe for sure, a lot of projects. So 10% of our projects are in an international context. Some words about a sustainable building market. So here you can see a figure from Germany, the market trend. So sustainable investments grow faster than the total market. You can see here we are around 20% now. So nearly every fifth euro got invested in sustainable properties in the office sector. So that's really a lot. And we see in the bigger cities in Germany, more or less every project is certified, every office and retail project. We are market leader for new construction in Germany. There are also some projects from foreign investors, but the rest are certified with DGNB. And also in Europe, we are the front runner, one of the front runners. In the German-speaking countries, so Austria and Switzerland, Germany, we have a market share from 60%. In Europe, we are market leader for the district certification. And we're getting more and more also international projects. Now we come to our DGNB system. We understand this really as a tool for sustainable planning, construction, and operation. So our overall goal is to have at the end really better buildings. And what means better? That means not only energy efficiency, we are focused also on aspects like healthy buildings, the indoor air quality, visual and thermal comfort, but also aspects like how the meeting areas are designed and where our materials are coming from sustainable resource extraction, certified wood, for example, and other aspects. So we have really a holistic view of sustainability. And for new construction, we rate this aspect with around 35 criteria. Well, so what is special in the DGNB system? These three aspects are very our special identity, more or less, you can say. So one approach is our life cycle assessment. So we have a criteria called life cycle assessment, where we calculate, analyze, and optimize the CO2 emissions from the building, but not only for the construction phase, also in the operation phase. We do this also for costs, life cycle costing, and we have criteria for recycling, for circular economy. So these aspects are a core part of our system. The second thing is the holistic view, as I said. So we focus not only on social and ecological aspects, but also on economic features. So we say if the project is really green, has great social aspects, but nobody can rent there an apartment, it can't be really sustainable. So these three columns of sustainability has to be in a balance. And the last thing, that's maybe also something typical German thing is that we are performance orientated. That means that we set goals for CO2 reduction, and you get the points if you achieve the goal. How you achieve the goal, that's totally open, and that's also some point we think it's good for innovation. So we define, for example, that you get the maximum points if you reduce your CO2 emissions by 50%. But we don't say you have to put a photovoltaic on the roof. And we have different schemes for different planning and life cycle stages of the building. So normally you start in the planning time with a pre-certificate for new construction. There you set your goals and qualities for your project. And then when the project is finished, you do this DGNB certificate for new construction. After some years or 1 year, it's really important also to look at the operation of the building. Very often the calculated numbers and energy performance is not the same like really in the real operation, so you can improve there something. And for that, we have also a new system called buildings in use. And maybe 20, 30 years later, there will be also a renovation of the building. So we have there also a system for renovation, and now also pilot phase for the end of life. So the whole life cycle of the building, we have a system who fit. So here you can see an overview of our rating schemes for different uses, for existing buildings, new construction, different uses, but also for interiors you can see here, or for the whole districts, city districts, or industrial sites. So the certification process. As I said, the normal way you do your register your project for certification, then you do a pre-certificate and the certificate for new construction after is it finished. Then you can do the building in use if the project is 1 year, also older than 1 year, or there are also possibilities for existing buildings or for renovation. You can also do, if you have an existing building, you can only do this building in use, for example. There we focus more on aspects you can improve, like facility management, energy performance, CO2 emissions, and so on. And there's also recertification mandatory after 3 years. So that's the overall holistic approach of our system. So we have these 3 columns of sustainability, the same weightness, environmental quality, economic and social functional quality, and overlap through technical quality, process quality, and we also evaluate the site quality. In behind this quality, there are different numbers of criteria. Here you can see an example for new construction international. We published one month ago. You find also on our website, you can request DGNB criteria for free as PDF, and you can go through it. So in an overview on the ecological features, we have this building life cycle impact assessment. Local environment impact means if there are risks for pollutants, for emissions who are not good for your health. Sustainable resource extraction, so where are the wood and stone and other aspects are coming from, water, land use, but also biodiversity we focus on. Then on the economic side, life cycle costing, but also we look at the flexibility and adaptability of the building, so that you can, if you plan and build it as an office building, then maybe after 20, 30 years, market is changing and you can easily adapt it to a residential building. Aspect like this we also focus on. And on the social side, you can see here different criteria for the comfort inside the building, but also outside the building. So the quality of indoor and outdoor spaces, design for all, safety. These are aspects we calculate in this area. Technical quality. There's one criteria we only have in this international version, fire safety, because there's a strict regulation here in Germany, but in other countries not, so we include it. There's also one special aspect in the DGNB system. We always adapt our system to the local conditions, to the local norms, sometimes with our system partners also to the local language. There's not one criteria set who fit everywhere in the world. Yeah, and then you can see also other technical issues like building envelope, the quality, mobility infrastructure, and so on. And also very important point is the process quality. You can see here from a comprehensive project brief through FM compliant planning. So everything you have to think about if you want to plan and build a sustainable building. At the end, we have this flower we called DGNB flower, where you can see in our software where your building is really good, in which criteria perform very good, and in which criteria not. And it's also a good communication tool for the client and for the planners to say, okay, in this criteria we can improve there something, but it has also an impact on other criteria, on cost and so on, and make it transparent. So the end, these are these quality levels we have. So best is platinum, then gold and silver, and bronze we only offer for existing buildings. So normally, so we start at silver, gold, and platinum. And the minimum performance index means that if you want to achieve a platinum building, so you have to achieve in each category, so ecological, social, functional quality, then you have to achieve minimum 65. That's the same like gold. So that's the idea that a project is not only very good in the technical and economic part, and in the social part maybe not. So there's a balance between these 5 qualities we offer. So that's the idea behind this minimum performance index. And then in the end, we offer there a certification award ceremony on a trade fair or on special event, like here in China. Last year, we offered there the first 2 double certificates with the local standard China's 3-star system and DGNB system. And also in China, we are very active in the last years and certify there more and more projects, mostly residential projects. A special award for design quality we also offer, the DGNB Diamond. Here you can see our first project to get this special award. And there, for that, to get it, it's mandatory to have a gold and platinum certificate. So if you have this, you can also ask for the special award, and then a real jury, people, architects and experts come to a project, look at that and say, okay, there is really great design and they can get also this special award. Another special award, very important in the discussion in the last 2 years about climate protection and climate goals. So this award is linked to the buildings in use system. So if you use it, this building in use system, and you can show that in the last year you are really climate neutral or even climate positive, then you can get this climate positive award. There's also a definition, what we understand as climate positive on our website. Okay, that you have an experience, which projects we already certified. I bring with me some of them. So here an overview. So office buildings on the top, but also residential buildings in Germany, in China. We have also some special uses for hotels for sure, educational buildings, laboratory, and logistics and other uses. So really a quite big range on different certification schemes who fit really good on the special uses. And some special project called Neckarbogen in Heilbronn, they got district certification, but also some of the projects, the building projects, are certified by DGNB. In the last years, there were the big landscape exhibition here in Germany, who was the central part was here. This project was certified by DGNB. And we certified last year also the first urban district in China, the Sino-German Eco Park in Qingdao. And another project in Denmark, you can see here, Nordhaven project with around 300 hectares. They built completely new in the sea. Also here an overview about our district certification projects. So there are more and more projects outside of Germany, in Luxembourg, but also some giant project in Mongolia, should be the new main city of Mongolia, Maidor Eco City. Other project in Berlin, Urban Tech Republic, and this also the stadium from the FC Barcelona, where they built a really, they renovate the existing stadium and built there some new hotels, restaurants, and other uses surrounding this stadium and build it in a really sustainable way. Okay, the process of certification. So the process is really easy. If a client decides to certify the building, he is looking to a DGNB auditor, discuss with him which services he has to offer, and then he registers this project on our website. The auditor then accompanies planning construction process until conclusion, takes the documentation, so collect all together, give also some notes that maybe they have to change there something in planning. You collect all the things, the documents, they submit it via our DGNB software, and then we as a DGNB do the conformity check, third-party review of the documents, if everything is there and everything is plausible, and overhand the certificate at the end. So here other visualization where you can see if a client register a project at DGNB, he get in contract. Also, there are fees, certification fees. I will come to this later. And then he's looking to a DGNB auditor. DGNB auditor is not a part of the DGNB office here. We train them. They have to get a license to be up to date, but they work more or less free. So also the client has to discuss with him which services he have to offer. If you do also consulting job and also doing simulation, other aspects, this he can discuss with the auditor totally free. So these are the two contracts the clients get more or less. And question is always also which services DGNB auditor offer, and there are differs really from project to project also, and which time this DGNB auditor is involved in the projects. But here's a general overview. A lot of auditors doing a pre-check at the beginning. So this is the idea when there's some planning for a building or for a district, then there's a meeting with the client and the planning team. They discuss the qualities of the project who are already there. They discuss also maybe some aspects who are still in the defining phase, like materials and other aspects. And in the end, there's a potential analysis where the client can see, okay, this is the current state of our projects. If we do it like that, then we get silver. If we do this or this measures additionally, then maybe we have the potential to get gold, and this euros are related to these measures, for example. So this is a pre-check. Then if the client say, okay, that makes sense, we want to certify the project, then the next step is the pre-certificate. And for that, the DGNB auditor is involved in tendering and procurement, integrate these quality aspects, redefining the criteria also there. We coordinate the decision processes, which qualities you really want to achieve in the project and so on, define the goals, support planning, participate on different meetings, and do also there an documentation. For pre-certificate, it's really slim. It's only explanation of the project and the qualities they set for each indicator. I do the documentation here and submit it to us, and then we prove it, and then the client gets this pre-certificate, and this you can use for communication with the clients, with future renters, and so on. The next step then over the construction phase is then at the end to have this certificate. More or less the same activities for the pre-certificate, but The auditor has also to update specification targets and the weighting matrix, because always some things are changing for sure. You do regular reports to the clients to see, okay, we are on the right path or we have to change something. You do also random checks on construction site to prove if the materials they are asking for are really integrated into the building. And at the end, you do also the coordination of the documentation, more or less. So that's the general things the DGNB auditor has to do. And then there are some possible special services, and they are also related. Some of them are related which target they want to achieve. If they want to achieve platinum, so the best award, they have to do more or less everything. Yeah. If maybe only the goal is to get silver, then maybe some aspects of them they don't have to do. And some examples, for example, the calculation, optimization of life cycle assessment, life cycle costing is one extra part. A lot of auditors doing that not by their own. There are some experts they are asking for. Then consulting on ecological of building materials, it's one aspect. There's a strong focus on the DGNB system of the materials itself, and it's a complex part. Then a daylight and artificial light simulation, thermal building simulation, calculation of reparation time in offices, indoor air measurement. So this is also one minimum requirement we have in our system. So indoor air quality to achieve their minimum level, but also the barrier-free design to have there also a minimum quality. Construction site check, FM check, and so on through monitoring concepts. So they are all special services, as I said. You ask yourself really what are the fees at the end to get a certification. And the certification fees or the whole fees for doing a certification, you can see this through parts. So first are the certification fees, where the client has to pay to us to do the conformity check and develop the system further. They are fixed. You can find on our website. I bring with me some examples you can see here. For new construction, bigger building, 25,000 square meter. For DGNB members, since 40,900 euros. But there's also for internet projects, there is a 20% discount. For buildings in use, there are only 9 criteria, very slim. So also the fees there only 3,500. Indoor spaces are in between. You can see here the range, and the Diamond Award. There are also fees related. And that's the crucial point where the client has to define with the auditor. There are also the fees for the auditor services, and they are related. So when you start your certification process, so earlier the better. How big is the building? That also has an influence, but not so strongly. Influence is it only one use, or you have a mixed use project? That's also more effort to do that. And there are some regulations or some aspects you have to consider. And so you can't really give a real number for the auditor services. If you are interested, then feel free to ask. There are 3 auditors. We are also working on a service program where every auditor can offer. This we will translate, and this you can also use to ask different auditors which time you think you will need. Other aspects, not only cost on the one side, on the other side, you can also get their money. We are also in discussion with different banks here in Germany, but also abroad, that at the end, if you have a DGNB certification, then you can get also and have financial support. There's a lot of discussion about this aspect at the moment. Sustainable finance, the European Commissioners are defining their criteria for sustainable investments, not only for buildings, but buildings are also part of that. And we are also part of this discussion and working group process. And we try that at the end, really DGNB certificate is in evidence for that. and then you can get better financial conditions for your certified project. There we are still in the discussion process, and there we develop a lot in the next years, we think. So at the end, some words about the added value of certification. There always the question is who you're asking. So the user, for him, is really important to have at the end a higher quality of the building and less additional costs in the use phase. There you do an optimization in the planning. For investors, secure values, low risks. For planner, a greater planning efficiency to discuss really the important points at the beginning. Quality control at the end. A certificate is always also a communication tool where you can use for different aspects. We published there also a report called Added Value of Certified Buildings and Districts. You can find on our website with some statements from our clients and some real numbers we are asked our clients. I go through that. You can find that. One example here in Stuttgart, a school center in Stuttgart, they get platinum, and there we published also one blog. You find a blog article where you can see we asked, or they told us that, for example, the additional cost to get this platinum were no single-digit percentage. So at the end, because they discuss all the aspects we are asking for really, really early, and then every planner and people who were involved know what is the goal and see that at the end there were no additional costs. So this is no general rule for sure. For this project it was the case, and this was also, you can find more about that in our website. Okay, also some other brochures. So now, thank you very